Shed out for hours now, and a couple of sides who won last week, a couple of sides that played out a cracker in September, as they invariably do when they meet. A dramatic late wing against London Irish came at a bit of a cost for the Cherry and Whites last week. They'd lost the prolific hooker Santi Sassino to injury, so good job then that they signed George McGuigan just the other day, equally prolific, and along with his front row mate Val Rapava-Ruskin leading the Gloucester charge up front, having spent Tuesday morning joining up with other England hopefuls, meeting Mr. Borthwick and Sinfield, both in terrific form at the moment. Freddie Clark and Ben Morgan back starting, but the back division left largely untouched. Mian at 9, Carreras at 10, and Georgi Kveseladze at inside centre. The Georgian taking over from Seb Atkinson. No resting on laurels for Saracens after their walloping of Exeter at the Stone X. 6 changes from Mark McCall. Ben Earl is straight into the starting 15 again, pushing harder than ever for an England recall under the new management. Hugh Tizard is the only other change to the pack, swapping places on the bench with Nick Ezekwe. Alan Davis makes his first start of the season at scrum half. There's an all-new centre pairing as Duncan Taylor finally puts his injury troubles behind him to wear 12. And it's a big day for Alex Lewington, joined from London Irish 4 years ago, and tonight notching up 100 appearances for Saracens.
Yeah, and I think the front row and the set-piece battle will be absolutely crucial. As you say, McGuigan now firmly ensconced here at Gloucester, 26 tries in 39 Premiership games, so there's no doubt that he will be a big factor in this game, and George Skivington delighted to have him up against Jamie George, who, well, it would be a timely reminder of all of his experience, all of his skill and all of his worth to the people that matter ahead of the Six Nations. So massive battles right across the field, but the two hookers going head-to-head, really intriguing.
Yeah, there's great matchups in the back lines as well. Obviously, the fly-offs, Carreras versus Farrell is a big one, but the back threes look strong. Thorley versus Mailings will be worth the admission fee. But in the first 20 minutes of these games, it's always about box kicking, and then it's always about how you receive those. So I've gone for the 15s. Evans versus Good. They've both got to be rock solid, because both sides just look for a mistake to start their phase play. We'll see 20 kicks in the first 10 minutes, and then the game should open up.
Some interested onlookers tonight. Busy few weeks ahead for Steve Borthwick and Kevin Sinfield, and an important night this evening for Alex Lewington. 4 years a Saracen now, and tonight notching the ton. So Alex Lewington leads Saracens out. An important milestone as Sarries bounce into the West Country after obliterating the Exeter Chiefs. It was the perfect response, wasn't it, after their first league defeat to London Irish in Brentford. They are 10 points clear of Sale at the top of the league. They've successfully expanded their style in no small part down to that man Owen Farrell. And to be honest, it's quite hard to see them being derailed from their march to the playoffs. Such high quality last week. There was all sorts in there. There was a little bit of innovation. There was fun.
Yeah, I think the challenge for him and the England coaches is, how do you get the best out of Owen Farrell in an England jersey? Because what we've seen last week is the quality is clearly there, but it's about piecing it together at international level. And, you know, what a wonderful embarrassment of riches they have, really. And he's still very much the talisman.
So Sarri's been kept waiting. Gloucester buoyed by that dramatic late kick from Santi Carreras that sank London Irish here a week ago. They have set great store by their performances in front of the Kingsholm faithful. Just 2 defeats here in the last year, and they often save their best for Saracens. Well, they've had some brilliant tussles here over the years, these two. Think of Richard Hibbard's late try in 2017, James Hook's late penalty in 2015. Owen Farrell settled a few scores here late on as well. And as George Skivington mentioned, clubs raise their game for Sarries, they have to. Or as he said, they will tear you to pieces. Referee tonight is smiling Carl Dixon. Dan Jones and James Clark, his assistants, and Claire Hodnett are TMO. Safe to say there's a little buzz here. New England coach in attendance. A fresh slate, ton of players looking to impress. A packed house. The rain has eased off.
Okay, time on.
And we can all settle in for the next 80 minutes. Owen Farrell sends Saracens forwards, and Ben Morgan gathers that brilliantly by his ankles and sets up the first ruck of the day.
Well, that's how to adjust your body position for contact, isn't it? Just wait till the last minute to take the kick. Wonderful take, but all in vain.
It was a duff kick from Farrell. He didn't get it spinning toe over toe. It was always a low spiral, which almost took Morgan by surprise. Look at the kick. I'd call it a haggis once, I think, as a kick, but it was a really good take.
I think Malins was quite pleased he lost his footing there, Ben Morgan.
Always force a forward back inside if you're a winger. Get there early, force them back inside.
Well, what it has done is forced our first scrum of the match. And we saw the Saracens front row just getting their timings.
So the Gloucester scrum has held up very well this season, and already there's a lot of chat between McGuigan and George. Got a chance to see Val Rapava-Ruskin in action against Marco Riccioni, who went so well last week. Mako Vulapola has to get to grips with the Russian Kirill Gotovtsev. No Fraser Balmain, remember.
Just looking at the backfield, they've used this play quite a lot with Malins getting off the side on a bit of an arc. Be interesting to see if they go back to the scrum, because no, Billy's going to carry.
Here's Billy Vunipola. Crashes into the Gloucester skipper, Ludlow. Christie is sent backwards. Davis for Jamie George. Building pressure early on here, Saracens. Mako Vunipola waits. Another good shot from Ludlow. Very flat slash forward from Farrell. Out it goes to that wide channel and away into touch, and the Shed enjoyed that. Farrell is gesticulating.
Yeah, do you know what? I think Gloucester will have really been very pleased with that defensive set as they go quickly.
Threading it down the middle between Good and Malins. And Malins now chasing. It's going to drift a fair way long, and Lloyd Evans has options here.
Well, there's the opening salvo of that Good to Evans battle that Austin talked about. There'll be a lot of kicking into that backfield.
And here Freddie Clark, who initially did his level best to present that properly for Gloucester, ended up giving away the penalty.
Well, it's frustrating, isn't it? Because twice now it's been Gloucester inaccuracy, Gloucester mistakes that have allowed these guys back into the game. Owen Farrell, look, there it is. It's Clark, is it, that takes it in, and I think it's just isolated, isn't he? Just gets caught a little bit long in the body, and 2 turnovers and another attacking opportunity for Saracens.
Yeah, don't need too many invitations in this area of the field, but that line-out's gone awry. A rarity in itself. And Gloucester are off the hook for the time being, and they're getting an excellent drive moving, but not in a legal fashion, says Carl Dixon.
No, he's right, and it's happening too much. It's happening way too much. People going past the ball and obstructing. You've got to join the maul from the back. You can't go in front of the ball.
Your 2 is slid all the way back. You must pass the ball back. Yeah. I did shout breakaway, and I told Ben, that's all I can do.
Well, there we go. That's the 3rd consecutive error.
Talk about putting pressure on yourself in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, they've dug themselves a hole, dug themselves out of it, and dug themselves another one.
There should be a groundwork then, shouldn't they?
To Christie, nicely worked to Ben Earl, careering forwards, and very, very close already. Itoji fishing Vunipola to his brother, and bodies folded underneath him. Terrific work. It looks like McGuigan might have got underneath the ball there, the man and the ball.
Yeah, McGuigan was the one that gave the original penalty away just a few seconds ago, but if you're going to, Billy Vunipola feeding his brother, if you're going to go for the line, your body position's got to be lower than that.
I just thought Billy would have gone himself there. It seemed to be very open, the ruck. There was no defence really in place. Just allowed them a bit more time to get round the corner in front of Mako.
Carreras up to the 10-metre line where Duncan Taylor takes it in. He has had another horribly injury-hit season to this point.
You're holding on to him.
Feeds it back. Farrell to the 100-appearance man, Lewington. Mako Vunipola does well to get through that initial challenge from Alamano. Quickly to Farrell and to Earl, who's ready to bust forwards. Straight and hard. Farrell again. Taylor now. Well held that time by Harris. But all the early pressure coming from the visitors. Riccione just about doing enough. Farrell out the back for Lazowski, and Mako Vunipola, one more carry. Hit hard again though. McGuigan to the fore defensively. Christie, Farrell looking for options, has to go himself. Driven back to this point from their 9 and 10 phases now.
It's a very good set at the moment defensively. Gloucester just got to maintain their integrity in that defensive line.
Clark goes low on Vunipola. Davis for Farrell. George, Lazowski, good. Lots of shapes being cut here, and Gloucester equal to the challenge for the moment. Mako Vunipola comes again.
Yeah, Rapava Ruskin couldn't resist the one-on-one tackle there.
Farrell, cluttered old midfield, and Billy Vunipola can't find a way through. Davis, Farrell, Taylor, now then options, quickly move through the hands, and Lewington's got it away to Malins, and Malins grounds it, or does he? Was he there or was he just shy? Almost nothing in it.
Yeah, need looking at, won't it? Saracens, as good as Gloucester were defensively, Saracens were patient enough to find the extremity and work what they thought was the overlap. Malins, does he do enough to get there? He's short there, is it one movement? Oh, he's short, but the ball, enough of the ball touches the line, that's a try.
That's a try.
Yeah. Good work from one of the best finishers in the league, as we know. That is his 9th now in the Premiership, so draws level with Ollie Hassel-Collins. Initially he was just short, but the momentum gets him there.
Good, Carl.
Thank you, Claire.
And the voice of Claire Hodnett.
There's no separation from his hand and the ball. It's a clear try. That's the part of the game that they've got so good at, isn't it? Recognising opportunities and finishing them.
Well, the boo's ringing round Kingsholm, but Gloucester really only have themselves to blame for the field position that they found themselves in. With the sort of lethal finishers lining up in white tonight, just can't afford to hand that over on a plate.
Just their worst enemies, weren't they? 3 consecutive turnovers that yielded that momentum and pressure. Try was always coming.
Something of a cacophony ringing out as Farrell just bends it to the right. Austin.
Well, the try was so impressive, and I'll show you why, because they're playing against one of the best defensive centres around. If you look at Chris Harris here, he's bounced in for one decoy, he bounces out of that, he gets back to the second tackle, and still they make an extra man from the support runners round the back. Lewington, wonderful hands, he makes the extra man, gets the pass away, and Malins does the rest. But normally you would not finish that, because Harris has got out the first tackle and got back into the line. It's very good defence, but amazing attack.
And for the first time, we turn our heads to the right to see Gloucester in Saracens territory. And a right royal scrap for the ball on the ground.
Yeah, Ludlow, the Gloucester skipper, trying to make a nuisance of himself with the counter ruck, and they've certainly slowed down the momentum and asked Saracens now to clear their lines.
Strong wind down there as well. And Davis using it wisely.
I think that opening score from Saracens, the messages will be, listen, that came after 15 phases. So if you're patient, if you retain possession, if you resource the breakdown correctly, and if we're able to be accurate with our handling, and we are patient enough, we will break this Gloucester defence down. It may take 10, 15, 20 phases, but Saracens have got what it takes to do it.
McGuigan was through the hands of Ackerman. It's been knocked forwards by both sides.
On first, at the line out.
Saracens initially.
Brilliant, Mara! Brilliant, Mara! Keep your pressure on them there, boys. So I just feel like they're stepping off the mark and it's really fast.
The line-outs have functioned entirely to plan. Here's another look at the score. Lewington doing so well to provide that extra man and give Malins just enough room.
Yeah, it was the way Malins just sort of pivoted his body position and made the tackle by Carreras that little bit harder. He ended up missing the tackle and gave him that momentum to get the ball over the line.
Set.
Scrum penalty goes Gloucester's way. Long in the leg.
I don't want it. I'm all right, thanks.
In the eyes of Dan Jones running the line on this near side.
Yeah, I think now with the early try conceded, I think Gloucester with Carreras, decent enough kick, really good kick in fact. Now, is this the moment for McGuigan to open his account for the Cherry and Whites?
We'll try. We'll do our best.
Prolific, as we know, for the Falcons. His first start for Gloucester tonight. 15 Premiership tries last season, many of them from this sort of range. Oof. There was a mistiming, I think, of the jump from Ludlow, but it's gone forwards again from Saracens, so they'll get another bite at it.
Christie just tried to catch what was a really difficult catch. If he'd have let it go, Earl's away here. Look, looks at his right hand. It's a tough catch, that. If he lets it go, Ben Earl's got it. It's got a straight run at Meenan. I think Meenan should buy Christie a little drink after the game for that one.
Well, it just goes to show that even though he arrived last month, McGuigan, slightly different annoyances in the line out, slightly different movements.
But did you see Itoje, though, stepping across the line, getting right in the face, right in the middle, disrupting, going forward, getting up, putting a lot of pressure on. Some of it legal, some of it not.
It's there for Morgan from the base, trying to bounce his way through. Mian, Gotovtsev. Decent speed on the ball here for Gloucester. Freddie Clark is next up, hammering away. Kveseladze caught on the gain line, but somehow making ground. Mian now fires it to Carreras. Little bit of footwork. Great power from Ackerman. Mian waits and darts.
Now release on the floor. Ball's available.
Johnny May is searching for it and will squeeze it back, and he'll leave it to Rapava Ruskin combining with Gotovtsev.
It's a freebie now. They've got the penalty. He's held up, is he?
But you have a penalty advantage.
Well, a couple of really strong carries there, weren't there, from Ben Morgan. We'll wait to see if Gloucester take a quick one first. But
That's hold up. Is that hold up illegally?
Questions just being asked there. Rapava Ruskin over the line, but held up. So it'll either be a line out, scrum, take your pick.
Well, interesting choice on offer. Carreras takes the line out. A little quick glance to the right.
Yeah, listen, I love the quick pickup. We don't see enough of that. Manages to ride Billy Vunipola, but Christie just about does enough. And how about this? Ackerman straight through the try scorer. Can they capitalise?
Accuracy required and another delay on the delivery. It's there for Alamano, and the drive is brutal. Brutally effective. Morgan piles over. Unequivocal. And Gloucester back on level terms at Kingsholm.
Well, if the accuracy was lacking in that first line out on this side of the field, you've got to give credit to McGuigan. Absolute top arrows.
He's just checking whether it's a dummy throw, though. I think it might have been a dummy throw at the line-out, and then does he actually ground it?
Alimano, nothing wrong with that. No, that's okay.
Dixon was happy with it. Yeah, it's a dummy throw. That's a penalty. Oh. I think there's a dummy throw at the line-out.
So we're just establishing whether Claire Hornet's going to have a little look at that as Santi Carreras settles himself.
That's a dummy throw, I'm afraid.
There is a dummy throw.
There is a dummy throw.
And the whistle will be blown, and Carreras will have to break away. I think McGuigan knows it.
I think the pressure from the previous line-out obviously told that.
Yeah, ask for it now.
I know, and we'll always check. Swear.
Tell you what, when he eventually got it right, look at this, there, he pulls back the trigger and then releases. Second time of asking, it's absolutely correct.
Overturn your on-field decision, free kick.
Okay, so no try, free kick for the dummy throw.
Well, his heart will have been in his mouth after releasing the ball. He'd have thought he got away with it, and the disappointment will be sizable.
There we go. Okay,
we've got a commentator who's a stickler for the laws, you see, so he spotted it brilliantly.
Well, I'm not a stickler for the laws, they're just the laws. I think they're written down. Otherwise, we'll just play whatever they want.
Good spot. Good spot. You don't see anyone drop the scrum, do you, and call for a no try there, do you?
That's what I said to the judge when I faced him. Look, if that's the law, then I've got to go.
Yep. There's no doubt about it. There will just be huge frustration in these parts given the strength of the drive. Maybe they can build from halfway. Harris pops it forwards and Thorley's away. Lovely step from Thorley. Powers forwards, he's got a man outside him and he's brought down, but he gets there. He gets there through momentum. Ollie Thorley back in the tries again at Kingsholm.
Wow. Wow, 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 what a response. A determined, resilient response from a team that will not be denied. And McGuigan gets his arrows absolutely spot on. But look at the subtlety in this pass. Lewington just caught napping, isn't he? As Thorley goes in. Harris, beautiful little pop of the ball, straight through the hole. Thorley had quite a lot to do. Rides Davies could have fed it to the man outside, but chose to hold on, and Gloucester hit straight back.
I'll tell you what, that would have been a tasty conversation between Johnny May and Ollie Thorley had he not quite got over. But the job was done, and George McGuigan's day has just got an awful lot better in double quick time. That's canny. That's canny on the draw from Carreras. Gloucester leading by 7 points to 5. It's been a while for Ollie Thorley, but he's back in amongst it.
Yeah, look at Johnny May there. Look at him begging for the ball, but enough said.
Ackerman. Cherry and White's feeling better about themselves all round after weathering a testing opening 12 minutes or so.
Yeah, it's just this area. Meehan got to take responsibility. They can't afford the error rate that they've had in the game so far in their own half.
Good on halfway. Vanapola into Morgan. Farrell. Testing one for Evans, who does really well, and then rides the challenge from Tizard.
Use it, please. No. I did. It's got 5 seconds.
Some good escorting lines there from Gloucester, just made the catch that much more easier.
Left it a little bit long, that one, and Good is able to feed Farrell, who does well to hang on. Vanapola to his brother. And the penalty is Saracens. Gloucester not rolling away.
Oh, tough one that.
It's McGuigan who's isolated.
Been a couple of those, hasn't there, for Gloucester? It's not quite winning the ruck battle. Saracens particularly good at the ruck. But this first phase try from Gloucester is absolutely top-notch, isn't it? Ball off the back, exactly what you want as a fly-off. Carreras throws the long pass, but then watch Lewington's eyes. Lewington's looking into the backfield at Evans. That's all he's thinking about. And then they spot the short ball. No better runner than Thorley to take that short ball and accelerate through. As it gets to here, I think Ben Earl just stumbles a bit. Could have gone to him slightly earlier and stopped that indecision, but what a try that is off first phase.
Christie and Saracens on the march. Here's Earl once again clattering through the midfield and setting it up nicely. Lazowski with the step. Tackle made by Ackerman. Farrell thought about the long one. Clark holds on. Davis.
Oh, great hit.
Big shot from Ludlow.
Yeah, it's a great offload from Farrell, wasn't it? Upper body strength.
Have you noticed how wide the pass is from every single ruck from Saracens? They don't have any close runners. They take out the first 3 defenders. Gives them width really quickly, Ali.
Yeah, once again working it into that 5-metre channel. Lazowski wrestles into the 22.
See, it's a good 15-metre pass at every single ruck, regardless of whether it's Farrell or a forward.
Yeah, it's really noticeable, isn't it? Now the crossfield kick. Farrell, oh, he's got that bang on the money. Malins has it. The cover is decent. Johnny May back to his feet to compete. He's gone through it, and he's gone and pushed it forwards in the process. The idea was good. The execution just slightly off.
Just wonder whether Malins was playing the ball back on the floor.
I think Malins does really well because he knows he's isolated and he pushes the ball away from his body, makes the ruck open. Like you said, Ali, the kick spot on. Watch what he does here. He just rolls the ball away from his body. That just makes it really difficult then for May to retain his body weight without putting his hand on the floor. See both hands on the floor and again on the floor going for the ball, then the knock on. It's clever play from Malins.
Clever play, but can easily be given the other way for being isolated. And this opportunity, and it's another one for Saracens in the red zone.
Lewington tucked in really tight to Farrell.
Oh, now.
Vunipola from the base. Shot down early. Davis for Christie.
How good was the Carreras tackle?
Yeah, because the back row were committed at the scrum, weren't they?
Itoji, they've given up the penalty here, Gloucester.
Offside, number 5.
Riccioni waits. And again, it's Christie. Playing with that advantage. Farrell picks up one-handed, more width. Malins, hop, skip, forwards, ball lost.
Well, he was going back to the lucky corner, wasn't he? But tell you what, the pressure is building. Saracens got another penalty offside. Tell you what, the scrum was an excellent one. They really got the little nudge on, but Billy Vunipola was already on his bike. And that man in picture there puts in a really good tackle. Look, Vunipola straight away, and that's moving forward and bringing down a very big man. Good tackle.
Just saw Carreras' face there. He tackled him, then realised that he was on the wrong side, and the rest of the Saracens pack were advancing towards the ruck. 20 years ago, that would have been a much different outcome to your physique than it is nowadays, but defensively, he'll be very happy on Waldock, won't he?
He will do. He'll be happy in one sense that they are defending resolutely, and that their line, their integrity is excellent. But he won't be happy with the amount of defending that they're having to do. Already over 60 tackles made, and it's all because of the inaccuracy and the little penalties and little pressure that's building.
Well, they've got their eye on the lead, taking these opportunities while they are there. Straightforward for Farrell. Yep. Saracens nudge in front, Oz.
Well, I think Tom Waldock should be really happy, actually. They're only conceded 8 points, and when you look at the stats, the most important one is the number of line breaks and carries that they're making. So they've made 44 carries, and they've made 92 metres and 26 gain line successes. Normally, you're 21 points down at that point. They've scrapped really well, Gloucester, defensively.
It was one of the hallmarks of Saracens' performance. Owen Farrell got all the headlines, but actually their ruthless efficiency when they got down to that extra 22 was what separated them. They just took points at every opportunity. They've had opportunities in this game, but only one try, one penalty.
Evans.
Use it, please.
Mayen.
No. Go.
Not under quite the same pressure from Carl Dixon that Luke Pearce was applying to Quins and Saints last weekend. Up goes Vunipola.
It was a decent enough kick because it made Billy Vunipola play it, and a good counter-ruck coming through from Gloucester, and they'll win the penalty.
Well, that's just pure out-and-out desire. Lewis Ludlow leading the charge.
They get the penalty, Gloucester, but I don't think they should. It's a really good hit on Billy to begin with, but watch Ludlow's hands straight on the floor past the ball and then back. That supports his body weight and then gives them the impetus to counter-ruck. That, for me, is a penalty the other way.
And that's one of the laws that
we're looking at.
Referees are saying that they're going to try, but how about that? 7 penalties in the game. But
entertaining match. Didn't expect this after 25 minutes between these two.
Just 1 point in it, and we're either looking at the extremities of one end or the other, aren't we, at the moment? McGuigan then for Gloucester. Ludlow one-handed and swept up by Earl, and the line-out remains a concern for the Cherry and Whites.
I tell you what, Itoje put a lot of pressure on. Austin's talked about him being a nuisance in the line-out. He just gets up in the air. I don't know whether just does enough, doesn't he, legally, to make that a very difficult catch.
Thorley, seemed like a rather late decision to take the arms out to catch that as he drives over halfway.
Okay, let go of him, don't hold him in, don't hold him in. Okay.
Mayen shaping as if to use the box kick instead. Carreras goes high and wide, and Malins just taps it up to himself and then keeps it alive. Riccione, almost surprised to be in open space.
Tell you what, that's the sort of skill you want to see from a winger if you're an England coach sat in the stand.
High quality stuff, wasn't it? Calm, very calm. Thorley,
he's outside.
Outside the 22. Not his first suit.
He's
and directly into touch.
Yeah, he's had a shocker there, hasn't he?
A lot to ponder on the wing front, Austin.
It's the most important position, Ali. Honestly, if England are going to win the World Cup, it is the most important 2 positions. You've got to get it right, because you need X factor to win the World Cup. South Africa in the last final dominated England, but it was the wingers that won it for them.
Yeah, well, the scrummagers might have a
well, yeah,
the wingers that lost the opening game against South Africa, against New Zealand for them, but yeah, they did all right, didn't they?
Sarries just applying the heat again, and round the corner comes Lewington, and this time Thorley's making no mistake with the tackle on Malins. Vunipola, the target again. Farrell. Oh, very nearly the intercept from Ludlow. The knock-on, says Carl Dixon. I don't think there's any suggestion that that was anything other than a clear attempt to take the ball. Let's have a word with Dan Vickers, who's the kicking coach with Sarries. Dan, it's very, very tight. You've had a lot of pressure, a lot of territory. Would you expect to have a little bit of a bigger buffer at this point?
Oh, we didn't expect too much, actually. We know coming here it's tough. The crowd, the venue, it's fantastic, particularly on a Friday night. We're just ready for the next thing. We knew it'd be physical. The breakdown, either side of the ball hasn't a great fight, good contest either side. We got some quick ball early, scored a nice try, but Gloucester, great team, come back at us. Probably that kick return breakdown where they turned us over back there in the 22. So some fundamental breakdown things got to fix too, but yeah, great game.
Yeah, the kick return and some great scramble defence as well. Just hold for us a minute, would you, Dan, if you could, as we look at Lazowski moving inside the 22. Out it comes from Davis. Farrell to Christie. Setting up camp again in that 22. Davis. Taylor. Show of the ball. Back it comes to the open side, and Billy Vunipola driven to the ground by Godovsev. Christie again. Sarries have looked really threatening in this area, but just the one try to show for their efforts at this point. Farrell attacks some space. Ackerman with the tackle.
Parva Ruskin's there, he's turned it over. What a turnover that is.
Fantastic work from the loose head. And Lloyd Evans gives it plenty of air to the boots and to the touchline. Terrific job from the fullback. But what about the...
Well, it's a huge
the work
intervention.
over the ball here.
First hand's on the floor, but just to balance himself, he doesn't get the nibble on the ball there, but it's the second one where he comes in. He's not taken out by Tizard, and he's allowed to have a second go at it, and you've got to say, that is a wonderful turnover.
Let's go on, please.
Well, we highlighted him ahead of kick-off today. His numbers are ridiculous for a prop. We know his scrummaging is very, very strong. We know that loosehead is a strong position for England, but surely he has as good a chance of anyone now of earning that first England cap. Johnny May brings this down, and Lewington has to back off.
Slightly played it there before he's landed. Does affect the way he's able to place the ball.
Contact in the air.
There's Claire Hodnett,
Contact in the air.
who's advising Carl Dixon that should be a penalty against Lewington.
Yes, nothing more than that. Look, he's got his hands there, but he doesn't win the ball, and he's landed on one leg.
Nothing more.
Not much in it, but...
Nothing more. Okay. You okay? Do you need treatment? Are you okay? Is okay? Let's go.
He's not so sure, is he?
Give us time.
Neither am I. Doesn't take his eyes off the ball. He competes for it. Doesn't hit him or tip him in the air. And as they land together, then he plays him for me.
Well,
I think that's the wrong way.
Well, no, it's not, Austin, because the contact is made before he's landed.
But he's got to be able to compete for the ball.
Look at this.
Look, he competes for the ball.
Well, he's never going to get the ball. He doesn't compete for the ball because he misses it.
Look,
he misses it, and he plays him before he lands, and it affects the way that Johnny May's able to place the ball.
It's tight.
It's very tight, yeah.
Just make sure
I can see both
made.
arguments.
Decision made.
But having played on the wing, I'm right.
Ludlow, that's a much better line out from Gloucester, and McGuigan is bringing in Thorley very effectively, almost to the 22. Offside, Billy Vunipola surely, as Gloucester pour forwards. Meehan for Clark. Carreras goes cross-field, and May is after this at speed, and Good is just ushering it away.
Well, it's a game that we're seeing all sorts of different things being displayed here. A lot of innovation, a lot of skill out there. And how about this for a little move round the line out? Just bringing in the winger there, McGuigan just dropping off, going through the tackle of Itoje.
It's only Thorley you could tell midweek that you're going to run back into the Saracens pack and he'll actually relish it.
Yeah,
he told me that when I was playing. I'm like, choose someone else. I'm not doing that. It's ridiculous.
A winger wearing tights, and you're going to run right back at the tight five.
Yeah,
he loves it. Loves the contact, and I have to say it's great to see him back from a neutral perspective. To see him tearing into defences at high speed, we've missed it, and he's missed it.
Oh, I'll tell you what, Ben Morgan's done brilliantly well there to not lose his feet and to protect me and ensure that Gloucester retain possession.
Goodness, that was a fair old meeting. Valrapava Ruskin into the Vunipola brothers.
Yeah, use it out, please.
Unfair to get your brother involved, isn't it? Take him on your own.
Well-weighted kick from me, and this one, oh, it's been coughed up by Goods, and Carreras has it. And Gloucester, oh dear, through came Itoje. The knock-on has been ruled by Carl Dixon.
It's just one amongst all the skill and energy and courage. There's just that little bit of inaccuracy occasionally. And I tell you what, we don't see this very often, do we, on the pitch? Alex Good coughing up possession. We've got to say, incredibly well hit by Johnny May, and it's that blindsides him a little bit. When you turn your back, he doesn't expect Johnny May to head in like that.
Yeah, really good. Okay, we good? Happy?
Not sure who came off worse.
Are you okay?
That's a full commitment.
Scrum.
from Johnny May, who's been showing up in unexpected places in the last couple of weeks. 3 turnovers for Johnny May against London Irish. But it's the tries that he's after, of course, and even by his own admission, I don't think he's been hitting the heights this season just yet.
I think Alex Good might actually be an X-Man. He's 40-odd years old. He's got the body of a plumber, and yet he just never seems to ever get hurt.
Turning 35 in May.
Good shove on there.
This is meaty from Gloucester, and they've got an advantage. Meehan might just have knocked that on in the process of whipping it away. Here's Thorley, straightening. No way through Vunipola. This is Morgan. Rapava Ruskin is down and taking his time, looks to be in some pain. Clark to Carreras, here's Kvesaladze. Well watched by Lazowski. Meehan, change of plan, and no meaningful ground gain from the advantage.
Yeah, disappointing that, because Saracens conceded the penalty at scrum time, as we see Rapava Ruskin. I don't know whether he got injured in that scrum, but I tell you now that Meehan had an opportunity there to take advantage. Let's have a look at this. As it goes down here, there, Rapava Ruskin gets that going forward. Yeah, just gets a bit of friendly fire, isn't it? And that's where he gets injured.
Again, take a bit of patching up by the look of things. Gloucester, though, have their penalty, and Carreras is asked for the tee.
Then he's gone. So he set them off to jump.
Steve Borthwick, is he scribbling something in a notebook?
Got the reading bins on him.
Sudoku.
Well, he's going to have to pick some numbers in the right places. Yeah, that's for sure.
Interesting appointment.
I like that a lot.
Interesting appointment today, Austin, with Nick Evans being added to the coaching ticket.
He'd be in my top 2 choice if I got the job, him or Sam Vesti, definitely.
3 points for Carreras. Gloucester into double figures, and the lead is theirs again. 5 minutes to the break.
It's been a really interesting half, hasn't it? You know, not necessarily what we expected, because on paper the two sides are slightly different parts of their season at the minute. Gloucester with significant injuries to key players, long-term injuries. George Skivington having to piece things together, particularly in the tight 5, and Saracens, the form team in the country, playing out their skin last week. But we've got a really good contest here.
Here's Rohan Ackerman. No one has carried more in the Premiership than the South African-born blindside.
Use it now, please.
Been absolutely invaluable to Gloucester over the last couple of seasons. Really stepped up in the absence of Jake Pelledri too, in terms of the workload. Good. To Meehan.
Okay, to stationary. Okay.
And here's Malins. Farrell steps past Kvesaladze, but there's no way past Lloyd Evans. Did a terrific job. Stab forwards from Vunipola. Picked up by May. A bit of a surprise ball for Ackerman to deal with.
Lloyd Evans has hurt himself.
Turned over as well. Turned over. I think pass that Johnny May gave Ackerman there was not good. Really delayed it and then put him in a proper bit of trouble there.
We're not going quick.
She didn't make...
Holding on. Thank you very much. If there's something really clear, I'll be told about it.
Lloyd Evans catches Farrell from behind. It's a really good chase.
Can't see how he hurts himself. It looks like it's his head, or he lands on his head on the ground.
Yeah, it was
so we have number 15
the Farrell torso as he turned him.
Yeah, he hurts himself making a tackle.
Okay, perfect.
And of course the
No foul play.
situation in the back 3 and at 10 is a little precarious for Gloucester, with Hastings being out at the moment. That's obviously shunted Carreras to fly half, and Lloyd Evans has taken up that position for a goodly portion of the season at fullback.
He's some player, Carreras.
I've asked the question.
Arguably the most naturally
gifted
player in the league.
Right up there. Right up there. Invaluable to George Skivington.
Given it
from further out this time, 40 metres out.
And again, it's come from another Gloucester turnover, another Gloucester inaccurate mistake, unforced error, I think. You know, we all laugh when Props kick, but it wasn't necessarily the best kick in the world by Vunipola, but it's resulted in this penalty to regain the lead.
Farrell taking his time, but with good reason. And Saracens lead now by 11 points to 10 as we continue the seesaw nature of the scoring. Lloyd Evans has left us for the time being, so Tom Seabrook is on.
Yeah, we didn't have a clock on there, but we will have soon enough, won't we?
Yeah, looks like Seabrook's going to the wing, Ali, and Johnny May's going to 15.
Right. Not something we see a great deal.
No, he's good under the high ball though, May. Just put the kiss of death on him, haven't I, with that?
That is a permanent replacement, by the way, on account of a concussion to Lloyd Evans.
And that's another really annoying mistake, because having conceded the penalty, having conceded the lead yet again, you get the opportunity from the kickoff to build pressure, and all they've done there with that penalty is a quick release valve, and Owen Farrell will punish them as much as he can.
What do we make of Itoje? I've just been watching him for the last couple of minutes. Absolutely brilliant, right, in everything that he does, but I feel like he's in fourth gear, like he's got 2 or 3 more gears even that he could go to.
Well, he's had the last couple of weeks out, hasn't he?
Yeah.
With concussion, so maybe he's working his way back to full match fitness.
Well, listen, he's even his...
That's what I mean, fourth gear is good enough.
He's good. 7 out of 10 is like anyone else's 10 out of 10.
Over 15.
Tizard goes up at the back for Saracens, and Taylor onwards to Davis. That slick from Farrell to good to Malins. Brought down by Kveseladze. Earl, Lazowski, Vunipola. This looks good, really good. Maka Vunipola charging onwards. Davis wants it. They've got a penalty.
It's a yellow as well, that, for slowing it down in that position.
Earl to Lewington, and the whistle is blown just as he breaks the line.
I can't carry on because of this player. You know exactly what you did. Okay, time's off, please. No. Good work. Okay, so Dan, have a not rolling away, and then what have you got from 2? I've got him. Yeah. Okay. No. Thank you. So, Owen, you clearly had a penalty for not rolling away. The ball was there. 2's come in, not once but twice, just pulling people away. So I'm just going to reverse the penalty.
For pulling people away?
It's foul play. You can't just rip people away and then cause a fracas after. So it's going to be reversed. No. Listen, you can, but you can pull him out once, but then there's no need when he's out to pull him again. Okay.
I don't think you need to explain it 3 times to the referee. Jamie George is shaking his head, but initially the penalty goes in favour of Saracens not rolling away. Let's see what Jamie George does. Yeah, he pulls. That's the second time he has a go. You can't do that. Penalty's already been awarded.
Well, the whistle's been blown for half-time. Jamie George is raging. Gloucester, well, to be honest, given there's only 1 point in it and the amount of pressure they've been under for large parts of the contest, will be pretty content. 1 try apiece. Malins for Sarries, Thorley for Gloucester. Another thriller brewing at Kingsholm. Half-time, Gloucester 10, Saracens 11. It's such a tease, Craig. Harry Elrington is with us, and that is sad news from a Gloucester perspective, particularly, but also, I guess, potentially from an international one. Valrapava Ruskin has not made it out into the second half here at Kingsholm, having had an influential part in that first 40 minutes. A niggly, spicy first 40. And just 1 point in it. A reminder, 3 of the last 4 in the Premiership between these two decided by 4 points or fewer. And of course, cast your mind back to September as the Saracens rather dangerously let that drop. It took a late Wollstonecroft try and a Farrell conversion in the 82nd minute to allow Sarries to come away with the win. has gone forwards from Saracens, so it's
for Gloucester hand first. I don't know what gear I told you he was in looking at that kick-off, but still in the shed, I think, at that point. Just went straight through the floodlights, and as you say, whatever decision was made, Gloucester will get the first attacking scrum of this second half, or the first attack of this second half. And let's have a look at this. I thought it came off for Gloucester hand first. There.
Yeah, it does.
Looked like it, yeah. Looked like forwards from as they were going in the other direction. Quick hook and a quick delivery at the feet of Morgan. As sorry, I should say Seabrook is driven forwards. Morgan pops it onwards. Quite a bit for Harris to do. Clark, Carreras, holds his feet so well to allow Ludlow to run onto it, but nobody was there.
Been looking at Max Malins and pushed it back, but tried to put it at arm's length, but good turnover in the end. Was it Lewington that manages to affect it?
Get in front, hold!
Farrell.
Hold! Got out.
And they'll take a little bit of territory for the time being and just calm this early period down in the second half.
Well, it's a lovely offload, wasn't it, from Carreras in the end, but what it does is he runs away from support. The skipper, no one there to clear him out, and it's an attacking opportunity just gone. Just having a look at there at Lewington. Did he tackle him early? No. Get away with it.
He timed it nicely on the poach as McGuigan sends it on, and Meehan just delays a little bit, and Ackerman rumbles forwards. Morgan, little tip on, and over the shoulder of Makavanapola. Christie. It's hectic out there.
Yeah, the Saracens trying to profit from the turnover, and in the end, Farrell puts boot to ball. Thorley reads it well.
Thorley just hoping to open up the gears.
Okay, use it, please.
Good top set from a standing start.
Okay, let go, thank you. Use it, please, now. Ball is available. No.
Meehan to Thorley again. Through the gain line and well beyond, and held by Jamie George. Crowd thought that was high. Meehan snipes. Ludlow. McGuigan has to get the fend in on Riccioni.
Bought himself a bit of time with footwork there, didn't he, and Meehan?
Clark.
Just mixing the game up a little bit, Meehan, just not always kicking, being predictable, as he normally is.
Good off save again. And Elrington is caught early by Christie. Oh, the turnover may have been affected there. Riccioni got in, thought he'd done enough, and Carl Dixon rules otherwise.
Play on the wrong side.
I'll tell you what, you know, the breakdown penalties, so many penalties are given away at the breakdown, and sometimes a lot of them can be 50-50. Austin felt that Sarries were a little bit hard done by maybe in that first half, but just starting to balance itself out maybe a little bit.
Just saw a play from Gloucester actually, which nearly comes off. What I really like about it is sides tend to switch off when they think they're going to box kick. You look at Johnny May in the backfield, he's just trying to get to the short side of the ruck, this left-hand side, and all he wants is Thorley to get his hands through the tackle. If he gets his hands through the tackle, probably against a defensive side that's not so good, you fake that. Those two defenders are gone. Now he's through. If he steps back and gets this ball out, look at Johnny May cutting an angle like Thorley did before. Keeps players on their toes. It's a nice little play, that.
Well, it is.
Just a bit upset it didn't come off.
If anything, if Meehan swivels and gives it to May straight off the base, I could tell you now that they've already dropped back, and with his pace, he is through.
We saw that try, didn't we, from, was it the Bulls? From the base of the scrum, just a little reverse pass, no luck in Europe. I'm trying to remember who scored it.
When we restart, you go into the corner or
It's Pampy, wasn't it? Who scored it?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. All right, doing your homework.
Well, it's sort of not homework,
near the mark,
job, innit? Well, yeah, but
okay? Okay.
You weren't over there, were you?
I wish I was.
That's not a good sight. Very disappointing that, that his day has come to an end.
He's worked really hard, we know that. He's best player in the Premiership in terms of his stats and everything else, and he was having a significant impact in the game. I don't know whether when he came up from that scrum and he just got hit, was it Clark or Alemano, but he seems to have done something to his lower back serious enough to take him off the field, and you know, he wouldn't be volunteering to come off, that's for sure.
Yeah, the hot water bottle is out, and
when people are being
that's
nice,
on the lower back for Valrapava-Ruskin now.
Actually apologising.
Carreras from a similar position to Farrell in the first half.
That's where you've got to judge, isn't it?
Well, we know the affection in which he is held in these parts, seemingly growing with every week. Santi Carreras and Gloucester once again in front by just 2 points as the lead changes hands yet again.
Yeah, he's a player that's having significant impacts on the game, isn't he? He scored that try against England at Twickenham for that famous win most recently, and he's a player that not only Gloucester fans but England fans will come to know very well indeed.
Up she goes from Meehan, and Vunipola is underneath that. Ludlow making the tackle. George incensed at the end of the first half, to be calmed down by one or two teammates. Another tester from Davis, and May, we overran that a little bit, but backwards it goes and he tidies.
Okay, use it now, please.
Just looked like it was holding up, didn't it, the ball, and then didn't. But Meehan does the same.
A bit of an altercation between Meehan and Farrell. I think they've made up. Meehan thought that was a slightly late challenge, but no harm done as the ball is out now for Christie. And Morgan couldn't quite hold it. Carreras swivels and sets off at speed, bursting through the tackles, driving onwards. And Alex Goods proving a very sizable obstacle. It's going to be yellow.
Oh, we're going to replay the screen.
He's asking the question, does he step across the line or not?
Right, let's have another look at this.
It's a nice little break from Carreras, isn't it? Now watch Good in the bottom of the picture. Does he step across? No, I don't think he does, but
well, yeah, but he turns his back, he turns his shoulder and hits him with a shoulder, doesn't he? So there we go. It's a no arms tackle, isn't it?
Yes. Players coming back.
Yeah, there are 3 players coming back, Carl.
You just see him saying there, I haven't changed my line.
Well, he will have his version of events, but the ruling has been made by Carl Dixon. Saracens down to 14 men, and a relatively straightforward penalty attempt from in front of the post for Carreras, who created this situation, as he has so many this season.
I didn't see it, sorry. Again, yeah, we asked the question down here, no arms, so if he comes in, it's fine.
I think you're hearing all the Gloucester players asking about Lazowski no-arm tackle on Ackerman from the kickoff. He's missed it.
Oh, goodness.
Well, let's have another look at this. I mean, it hasn't actually resulted in a penalty. George Skivington cannot believe that man in picture has missed it, but I mean, it doesn't change his line, but the outcome is significant enough, because look, there's no arms in that tackle.
No, it's the lean, isn't it? He can't lean. If he just doesn't change his line and stands up, I don't think it's given. The fact that he leans into Carreras is the right decision.
And instinctive, wasn't it? As he braced for contact, it was the sort of natural thing to do.
You can protect yourself, you just can't stop someone else deliberately.
Yeah, he's gone for the time being, and no harm done on the scoreboard from a Sarries perspective,
not
remarkably.
Minute, yeah, Gloucester are 3rd best against 10 men. They score 7 points on average. But this isn't an average team, is it?
That's gone forwards from Malins. So knock-on advantage being played here. And Meehan eager to make some hay.
Over.
Johnny May trying to find a pathway through. In comes the tackle from Thorley.
I'm not sure. Do they want the would they prefer the scrum for the knock-on? I think if I was a Gloucester, I'd prefer the scrum myself rather than the line out.
Two captains, please. Two captains, please.
Let's have a listen in here.
I know it's a close game. I know there's a lot of things going on, but too many players are talking, asking about things. Just don't need it anymore. Okay? Please just calm down. Please calm down. Okay, let's go. Quick chat. Line up to red. Let's go.
Well, two feistier, more competitive men you will not find in the league.
Listen, absolutely. Just wonder why they've not. He's not asked Carl Dixon for the scrum, which was actually in front of where the line-out is.
Well, their set-up plays for Gloucester have been good, haven't they, off the line-out? They put Ackerman out in the 13 channel. He's out there already. They gave him the ball before. Wouldn't be surprised if he sees it again.
Ludlow with the line-out ball, and Harris under pressure from Taylor, and it's now with Ben Earl, and Saracens come forwards. Malins holds on. The ball is loose though. Hacked forwards. Once more, it's Carreras causing all the trouble for Saracens.
Lazowski's got. I thought he got away with one there. Dived in over the top, off his feet to secure that ball, but the penalty goes the way of the Cherry and Whites, and it's just getting a bit tasty now. Farrell wants a bit of clarification.
To play the ball under no pressure. Oh no. Oh no. Thank you.
I'm not surprised Farrell's annoyed. Gloucester have clearly knocked it on in the midfield. There's no advantage from the turnover, and they find themselves back 5 metres from their line-out. Where's the advantage? To knock on that. Harris has clearly knocked it on. They don't go past that tackle line. It can't possibly be advantage over, and they kick through. I'm sorry. Things aren't going. They're not getting the rub of the green at the minute, Sarries, on a number of occasions. I'm sure I'll be getting lots of jip on social media from Gloucester fans, but...
Never mind that. Itoje has it for Saracens. It went forwards from the Cherry and Whites.
Yeah, second line out that they've lost in this match, and that resilience there from Saracens, limiting the damage.
Good clearance kick that, under a lot of pressure.
They've made so much ground from that.
Here we go.
Itoje at the line out, just really getting in eye lines, in faces. He's everywhere.
Well, he's clever because he gets his arm there and it just flicks. It just flicks the arm, but he doesn't bring the arm down, and therefore he gets away with it. He did one similar one in the first half where it's legal but not legal, but legal.
Thanks for clearing that up, Lowell.
Well, the referee's not pinged him, is he? So it's legal.
Yeah. Morgan and McGuigan feeds Thorley. And Saracens having to look lively there. Ezekwe did well. Freshly onto the field for Christie. Little bit static from Gloucester. McGuigan with the punch. Meehan, Clark, Carreras again. Oh, Malins.
What's a take?
Did not knock that on. He didn't. He held it somehow or other. Hacks it forwards. Kvesaladze inside the 22. It sets up for him.
Beautiful bounce. He was praying for that bounce.
What about Freddie Clark? You see Freddie Clark chasing him back then.
What's a take from Malins? How about this? If he doesn't take this...
Locked it on his ankle. It's a brilliant catch. I tell you what, everything's going on in this alley.
It's happening.
It's
crazy. It's happening.
You're talking about the law against the law, with the law, lol. Just reminded me of a game of Monopoly with one of my daughters over Christmas. BB, she said, "It's only cheating, Dad, if you get caught."
And you were the banker, yeah?
Well, I was cheating.
Let's just say that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Exactly. But I tell you what, we've had a missed penalty in front of the post. We've had a misfiring line out, which could have resulted. We've had a bit of back chat now, and it's Saracens, who are the man down, who will end up regaining the lead.
It could be 23-11.
He's pretty aggravated about it, head on head. Okay.
Taylor's coming off for a head injury assessment.
So what I did is I had a chat with both of you about 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's other things we've missed in the game.
So Josh Hallett
I get it. But I talked to him.
is on. There is another conversation ongoing between the referee and Lewis Ludlow.
Too many conversations in my mind. Get a grip. Tell the players just to get on with the game. You're the referee.
The shed intent on making this complicated for Farrell, who is the past master, of course, of blocking everything out. Laser focused. But the post intervenes. Is that a blip in the laser?
No. Not easy conditions, are they? If he's missing, then that might go some way towards explaining how Santiago Carreras missed as well.
So with Alex Good off the field,
can't go quick.
one penalty missed each way. Gloucester leading by 2. And that's gone directly out.
So you can have a line out on the 22 or here.
Players need to settle down, the 2-10s.
Oh, you could have the scrum in the midfield, haven't you?
Yeah, surely not. Well, as good as Saracens are, and they are very good, nearly all of their scoring opportunities in this match have come initially, the origin point, from an unforced error from Gloucester. Just handing Saracens a platform, an attacking platform. They won't need too many more opportunities.
Fine.
Even Farrell preparing to come on, but business to attend to at scrum time. And at the end of the month, we'll have the shot clock for the penalties and the conversions, and we'll have the scrum requiring a little bit of extra speed as well.
When you lose a man in the back line, the key guy stands behind the scrum. More often than not, you want to go to the short side along where Farrell is, because that's where you make the extra man.
Davis to Farrell. A little bit of width. Lewington well marshalled by Seabrook. Sarri's playing with only 14, but Itoje carries them onwards. Vunipola. Farrell, lots of options, and Jamie George is one of them. Vasaladze makes the tackle, stretching Gloucester left and right. Here's Ezekwe.
Potential turnover there.
Davis searching out some holes, and Lewington's into one of them. Farrell, the short pot for Itoje, who is summarily dealt with to start with, but they retain the ball. Billy Vunipola. Farrell just waiting to the last possible moment. Ben Earl is held, smuggles it back. Riccione into double figures on the face front, and Gloucester recognising the significance of this moment.
Very
George.
good at only committing one to each breakdown, Gloucester, aren't they? So they got men on their feet.
And Harris has come hurtling back into the defensive line on this open side, just to fill the field. Itoje for Earl. And a big shot coming in from Gotovtsev. Farrell thought about flinging that wide. Malins, though, was coming closer to the ruck. Popped up for George. Another big tackle from Alemano. Gloucester doing really well defensively at the moment, but can they hold it? Farrell, crossfield. Thorley calls for the mark.
Oh, it's a brilliant defensive set.
He's away. Ollie Thorley, not waiting for anybody. Made it to the 22, and Meehan
Use it now, please. Ball's available.
waits for a little bit of extra support. The yellow card is up, so Alex Good will return imminently. Meehan looking for
50-22
territory. He's given that a hefty wallop. Is he going to get the bounce here? What a kick!
It is.
It found touch, and Meehan is celebrating like he's just won the match. A 50-22 that puts Gloucester in pole position.
It was a 20-22. He should get 3 points on the board for that.
He's lost his hairband, everything's gone. Tell you what a kick. And that defensive set deserved an outcome like that because they were magnificent defensively. Look at this kick. Bounce, bounce, bounce. There it is.
Yeah, 3 points for the 22-22. 3 points off for wearing an Alice band.
Credit to Gloucester, the way they defended there. One man in every breakdown, only men on their feet, almost Saracens-like.
Just quickly, jealousy will get you nowhere, Austin. But
get one if you want.
The excitement levels and the tension levels rising with every minute at the moment. We'll have a word with Tim Taylor in a moment or two. Could see his reaction just a moment ago.
Just looking at defence from Gloucester, when you're defending your own line, you've got to bend the rules, and this is a really good example of bending the rules. Look at Ludlow here. Just watch what he does, where he goes. Doesn't go around the back foot, no, he just goes to the wrong side, in at the side, gets really close over the ball. All he does is slow it down for half a second, 1 second, but it makes a huge difference to your scramble defence, and then they manage to smash a Toji. That ball's really fast, your defence doesn't get round the corner, you can see the try.
I totally agree with that. Outside of that, you've got to say their integrity in terms of the way that they were tackling, the numbers that they committed to the breakdown. 4 or 5 Sarries players off their feet and only one Gloucester defender.
Right then, right in the guts of it now. McGuigan needs this to fire. Freddie Clark has it for Gloucester. The drive is on. Saracens just with a little hint of a splinter. Vunapola's going to have to work his way out of it.
Yeah, they're still at the back there. They're still at the back there. They're still moving it forward. Sarri's got to be careful who pulls this down. There's the ball.
No significant decision made by Carl Dixon at this point, so it's here now for Ackerman. One more carry. Meehan hopping into position. Not too many to the right. Bodies assembling now.
Bennell saying, Ludlow, anything you can do, I can do as well.
Meehan, oh, that's forwards from Morgan, and Lewington skipping away. Needing a little bit of support, Lazowski's there. Work for Johnny May here, he's trying to cover 2 men. Back comes Thorley. Great tackle. Brilliant breakout from Saracens.
Oh, it's a free-for-all at the breakdown.
Malins, Earl, back to the traffic.
Carnage, run the floor. Run the floor.
Hunsale. Farrell, oh, took his eye off it for a minute. Good, back with us. Here's Jackson Ray. Sprung from the bench. Tackled by Elrington. Farrell, oh, a great line. And then it goes forwards just when everything was beginning to open up.
Tell you what, people are putting their bodies on their line today, Lol.
Oh, I mean, it's this game just end to end. 1 minute, Gloucester look like they're scoring. The Lewington intercept.
Time off.
Does really well here, doesn't he? Connects with Lazowski. Connects back with Lewington, and look at Thorley there.
Sorry?
Should Lewington have put the hammer down there, Austin?
Yeah, he should have gone straight away, I think, and just made it a foot race. Made May chase him. Even if May tackles him, he's still got support in Lazowski. But Thorley does well. But Thorley's given time because of the interpass. The pass back inside slows you down. You have to slow down then to retake the ball.
He's also pointing to May, saying, look, I'm going to leave me on my line. You keep hold of him, and I'll take care of the inside.
Physio's not part of this game at the moment. Okay. You are, the other players are. Physio does not come and ask for HIs. If something really clear, my team will tell me.
Perfect.
Same as the way it's been the whole game.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Don't need physios getting involved.
Have we looked at that?
Thank you. If there's something really clear, I'll be told about it. If there's not, there won't be.
So there's been something of an ongoing conversation, really, between Carl Dixon and the 2 captains tonight. Farrell on kicking duty again. And Fansale providing the stability. Nothing easy given the win tonight. Remember, Carreras missed what you would normally consider a sitter from bang in front of the post up the other end. He's hit the post once tonight. And this is sailing wide. Arms outstretched to Owen Farrell. Bafflement. Kicks that normally these players would gobble up in their sleep. Something to do with the conditions, and just a little bit potentially to do with the atmosphere.
Well, listen, the game giver for the game taken away. I mean, Farrell could not put a foot, a hand, a tackle wrong last week. He was sublime, and today he's not played badly, but 2 kicks you'd expect him to get. One from Carreras as well. Look at that.
Well, that was an attempted spiral bomb, not so much of the spiral on it. Still a testing one for Meehan, who's got that away. Oh, Lewington let it drop. Holds on, rather a wobbly grabble, and he's shunted that away towards the shed, but it was taken back in, so Gloucester can set up camp in the 22 again as Ronnie Maui arrives for Saracens.
Well, it's great work again from Meehan, who gives Gloucester that stability and that clarity to sometimes to that middle part of the field. Not sure he takes it back in, but
so was that
does he touch it with his foot?
Taken back in via the boot?
Well, yeah, if he's touched it outside the 22, then yes, but I'm not sure he does touch it. Probably worth another, well, it's not conclusive, but Carl Dixon's given it, gives Gloucester an attacking shot.
Well, they've won the line out, and Morgan is feeding McGuigan, who's deciding he's going to have a crack. They may puncture this very tight defensive line. Chris Harris might be the man. Maui with the tackle. Meehan, Carreras, little short pass, and onwards. Probing that short side, Kveseladze. Sarri's raising it in terms of the physicality of their defending. That looked forwards anyway from Gloucester.
Yeah, forward pass advantage here. Gloucester attacking structure, just spluttering a little bit right from that line out.
In comes Seabrook, has to, knocked on. There's a lot going on at the moment.
Well, listen, I mean, Gloucester just can't quite settle themselves down in an attacking sense, can they? That line out didn't go to plan. So McGuigan, instead of passing it, it was supposed to hit the midfield. Instead of passing it, put his head down, and after that, everything just seemed a little bit out of sync in the Gloucester sort of attacking unit, culminating in the forward pass and the turnover.
It looks okay. Let's go. Let's go.
Just next job, man. Bounce, let's go. Oh, scrum. Process been good, eh?
There's a lot going on, isn't there? It's feisty. It's got physicality in the tackle, some really nice skill, feeding off mistakes. This is a good Friday night in the Gallagher Premiership, isn't it?
It's a cracker. It tends to be between these two, as we mentioned at the top of the show. They've won 6 out of 7 here, Gloucester, in the Premiership. Lost to Newcastle and were really, really unhappy about that. Just 2 defeats here in the Premiership inside a calendar year.
Just mark it for it goes dead.
Oof. Johnny May over the head, but gathered by Seabrook. The spiral bomb doing the damage from Owen Farrell. Just to reiterate, Oz, the problems with that, the trajectory of the ball, it wobbles and it wobbles late.
It just dies on you in the last 5 metres, doesn't it?
Yeah, take him back in. Let go 3.
And comes down quicker as well.
Bonapola under pressure from the shed. And then under pressure from Elrington, but fighting through the contact, importantly, putting Saracens on the front foot. This is Riccioni, driven back by Ackerman and Gutofseb, who's been throwing himself around defensively. Earl, upended by Elrington.
Tell you what, competitive breakdown, isn't it?
Just leave.
Fansale. Riccioni again being asked to carry a lot today. Once more to the boot, and very close to getting onto that, Clark, but what was Meehan thinking, letting that drop inside the 22?
There's another one, the spiral bomb, wasn't it? Meant to be, didn't quite end up that way, but it was a difficult one to read.
Jackson Ray, the facilitator, Ezekwe, Vunipola, Earl now breaking forwards at high speed, careering into Johnny May. Terrific run from Earl, and Farrell is through. The down bursts. Saracens retake the lead, and Ivan Farrell has their second try of the night.
Well, the pressure was building, and it all came from the Owen Farrell kicks, spiral kicks, whether they were meant or not. They have achieved their objective. The second one gets a little tip, doesn't it? Is it Freddie Clark that maybe changes the trajectory? Meehan gets it all wrong. Jamie George straight in on the ball, pouncing, and then they've got numbers overload. Look, down this left-hand side. Billy Vunipola, how many times do you see a forward eats up the yards? Doesn't do that. He's got Ben Earl, who's got bags of gas outside him. He does most of the knocking down, and then it's a simple try. And Saracens created that opportunity, but they took it so well.
Well, the pressures of that spiralling ball and the damage that is wrought off the back of it. Another test and conversion this for Owen Farrell. 2 from 5 from the tee tonight.
I wonder if his laser's on now, Ali. Nope, not unless you're aiming for the floodlights, but it's a really well-worked try. And Lowell called it, all down to the timing and Billy Vunipola. Too often you see a forward here put his head down and just run into the channel, but look what he does, he moves to the outside slightly and then just distributes exactly at the right time to give Ben Earl half a chance to get round the corner. With Ben Earl's pace, you know he's going to get there, and then defensively it's impossible for Gloucester. Van Zyl goes over. All started though from a really nice switch and play from Alex Good. Started on one side, went to the other and really injected some pace. It's been a brilliant battle this evening.
It has a couple of missed penalties from Saracens, that one in front of the post from Carreras. The difference actually between the two sides now. The important thing is that Gloucester don't panic. It's got to stem the momentum now of Saracens going into the final stretch.
Some changes have been made. Shagan for Lewington on the wing for Saracens. And the arrival of Clement into the back row for Gloucester. Billy Twelvetrees and Cam Jordan. Twelvetrees, we understand, is going to be stationed at fly half, with Carreras now at full-back and taking that one on the 10-metre line.
Now use it, please.
Be a different story, Ali, if that laser was straight. 10 points he's missed from the boot, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a very unusual tale of kicking disappointment for Owen Farrell. Very unusual. Here's Meehan. Under that a little bit, and it's there potentially for Carreras, who makes the tackle on Lazowski. Farrell driving it over and above Seabrook and into touch on the full. Shed love that.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's mistakes in this game. Well, not mistakes, it's inaccuracy, errors that are allowing both sides back into the game. Gloucester have made a few and given opportunities to that man's team, and it's that man that's coughed up the mistake. Uncharacteristic. Gloucester got an opportunity to build some pressure now.
So there's Billy Twelvetrees. He's gone in at fly half. Carreras pushed out to full-back. McGuigan in the meantime. And Jordan doing the necessary in the line out. Cam Jordan.
Momentum was taken out of it at the line out, wasn't it? And it's not really turned out. They got the turnover, no, not quite.
Meehan for Ludlow. Here's Twelvetrees. Popped up by Farrell. The Malin's kick is blocked. Veseladze feeds Twelvetrees, and it's harem-scarum stuff. Van Zyl smashed in the tackle by Thorley.
Oh, Thorley was nearly... It was that was nearly over the ball there. Did very well. Harris, opportunity for a turnover, doesn't quite happen.
It's a really good clear out from Jackson Ray. Ball was open to be turned over. He clears out really quickly.
You did that.
Carreras for Gloucester. Ray first to him.
Brought that energy, isn't he, off the bench? Ian
Available.
shrugging, throwing his hands around, looking for a penalty, but...
Okay, he can use his hands to dig it out. Get out. Now use your feet, thank you. Use it, please.
Van Sale. Challenge at 12 cluster of
what a
players
softie.
in the way. Obstruction there coming into play.
Tackle. Nothing to do with that centre.
And a penalty to the Cherry and Whites.
Wow.
Should have thrown the pass to Good as he makes the break here. Now he should pass.
9 Gloucester.
Let's just see Good's boots at the top of the screen there. A lot of space.
Tough on that, isn't it? Deliberate, accidental.
What would you like?
It's accidental, that, but it's a penalty, not a scrum. And as you can understand, Carreras wants to try and level the scores.
Off comes George McGuigan, and replaced by Seb Blake, who's making his Premiership debut tonight at the age of just 21. Made his European debut already in that walloping in Dublin against Leinster. Come through the ranks locally, former Cheltenham College boy from down the road.
Okay. Jamie.
And yet more scrutiny on this man, the Pumas, number 10. Oh, squeezed through by the narrowest of margins. And we are level at 16 points each. 7.5 minutes to play.
Well, look at that. Just probably, as you'd expect from the home kicker, understanding the trajectory, the conditions, that little bit better than, say, Owen Farrell.
What a fabulous bust that is from Ruan Ackerman. 12th carry of the night, and momentous in terms of getting Gloucester on the front foot again. Something of a statement from the restart. Everything in the balance here. Good. Gathers it in for Saracens. He's being driven back, but Malins has it. Ludlow's onto him. Christian Judge has replaced Riccioni on the tight head.
Let go now. Use it, please. No.
Carreras. Malins finding a way through the traffic.
Oh, he did brilliantly, Carreras, to catch it, but also to position himself infield, so he stayed on the pitch.
Use it, please.
Varney, who's replaced Meehan, and Good having to deal with some heavy defending.
Oh, wow.
How good is Ben Earl here?
Well, Good's kept that in. That is
it's Ben Earl that keeps him in. Ben Earl picks him up and drags him back onto the pitch. Brilliant.
Extraordinary effort. There looked no way out for him
Use
there.
it now, please. Take a step.
Carreras. Try to go through the middle through Clement.
sure way to break your nose, isn't it?
Okay, use it, please.
Running into two nightclub bouncers, that, isn't it?
Varney. Chase on here for Thorley and 12 trees. And Thorley does the necessary. Billy Vunapula pinned on the 22, and Van Sale has it.
By 5. So look at that entry by 5, please. 5 red.
I told you on the carry. 5 minutes to play. This the 53rd Premiership meeting between these two. Just one draw to this point. Carreras. Malins takes man and ball. Jordan waits and carries hard.
It's getting a bit cagey now, isn't it? 5 minutes to go.
Yeah,
one phase, and then look, boot to ball. Not wanting to give penalties away in the wrong place. You can understand that. Such a tight game.
Good rising, and Thorley tackling again. This middle third, the all-important battleground in the final 5 minutes.
Use it, please.
Skied that one.
Yeah, that's not got the distance on it forwards. It's wound up with Cam Jordan. Now Elrington is using Varney, and Harris can try and open things up. He'll drive them forwards via the boot. Canny from Harris.
Really smart play that from Harris. He thought about it and recognised that space was in there. I think there was a knock-on advantage anyway, but look at that from Harris. Slazowski was the nearest tackler, so the right thing to do in the right area of the field in the moment of this game.
Yeah, is this where Farrell did? Oh, how have they not looked at that?
Well, I think they will have to
look at that. I did think it was a big hit. Was it on
foul play by Owen Farrell?
Is it in the same phase of play?
So we just heard the voice of Claire Hodnett confirming what we've just looked at.
The same phase of play, we can't look at it. So if it's in the same phase of play, we can look at it. If it's not, you can't. So you need to check.
It's not. It's about 5 phases before.
It's not. It's gone now.
5 or 6 phases before.
On the Gloucester 22.
I know that doesn't actually know it's in the same phase of play. If you can't tell, we're going to play on. Is it the same?
Tell you
okay, we're playing on then.
Yeah, it wasn't, because it was.
It's gone for the moment. Maybe the Sighting Commissioner might be interested in it. In the meantime, Ezekwe has secured the line-out possession, and the clock is ticking away. 3.5 minutes remaining. Sansale.
Cracker.
That's a great kick. He skied one, didn't he? No, nothing wrong with that. It's taken him up to the halfway line, and it's all about the possession of this line-out, you feel, and what they do from it. Can they? He's in the wars, isn't he?
He's popped a rib or something worse there, hasn't he?
Inside.
There's this tackle again.
No, it's bad. It is bad.
Yeah, that's a red card.
Well, that could have fairly serious ramifications for Europe in the first instance.
We don't need to be showing it on the big screen, do we, to be honest with you?
And something that will be addressed once this game is completed. Blake for Gloucester.
Bye. Okay.
Ooh, they got away with one
by
there.
Saracens is the ruling, and it's with Varney.
Okay, use it now, please.
Do they want the scrum, or do they want to kick away the advantage? Ooh, I'll take the scrum.
Shagan watching this one.
Good take. Difficult one, that, Ali. The wind got it just as he jumped as well. You just sense one of these sides, whoever goes for it, might actually steal this match, but if they just go for stalemate...
Thank you.
As we know, it came down to the final kick in that slogathon last week for Gloucester against London Irish. Varney has it and is moving at speed.
Thank you.
Trying to seek out space in the backfield. Plenty of men covering that ground. Goods goes cross fields.
Oh,
Seabrook using Carreras. Pressure from Shagan. Oh, it's going to be an interesting last 90 seconds or so here. A reminder, obviously, that Sarries have launched comebacks through this season. Came back from hefty old deficit against Quins in round 2, back from a big old deficit against Saints, and they trailed Exeter after 80 minutes. Alex Good came up with the penalty to win it, but just 5 wins here in 25 Premiership visits. Can they get it done? They're in the right area of the fields, and they have a lot of very experienced men in key positions. Itoji would be one of those.
Well, that's job done. First bit. Jamie George taking the ball. Is it Billy Vunipola handing it back to them? Now, Gloucester are going to defend this legally. They've done the first bit, but it's going to be used.
Shagan. First appearance this season, he's made good ground. Picked up by Maui. Camped inside the 22 now, right where they want to be, Saracens. Ready to deliver the final blow. No suggestion of the drop goal. Farrell sweeping round to the short side. And pops it on its way. I think flat ball. Judge.
Don't push it into him. Don't push in.
Vunapola's waiting.
The hands!
Conseil. Farrell. Upended.
Had a second bite there.
Gloucester needing to be squeaky clean here. Ludlow having a little dibble. Vunapola. Huge defensive effort required here by Gloucester. Clock in the red. Conseil. Lazowski to Earl. Held by Kveseladze and Harris.
Go.
Conseil waits. Ronnie Maui again.
Tell you what, they'll be thinking drop goal at some point.
He is now. He's back in the pocket, is Farrell. I wouldn't go too many more phases. They're getting fatigued. He's in the right spot now. Is he going to have a dig?
Tell you what, it's a big old arse from 45 metres out. Here it comes. Farrell sends it on its way.
He's got it.
And it wobbles over! With the very last play. Farrell's not had things all his own way tonight. But he's come up with the key intervention. Not the prettiest, but it's pretty to Saracens. And they've sunk Gloucester at the death. Extraordinary finish. 45 metres out in a horrible swirling wind. Owen Farrell with the winner.
Well, this game could be so cruel. I don't think that any side really deserved to win that game, and certainly no side deserved to lose, but it is the Cherry and Whites, and look what it means to them. Owen Farrell ultimately was the player who won it, but should he have been on the field? Should he have even had that opportunity? That's not for us to discuss now. He has won the game for Saracens with this drop goal. Not the cleanest he'll ever strike, but it does the job. A long way out, and credit to him for doing that. They don't like it because they feel there was foul play several phases earlier that should have been looked at. Wasn't looked at, but he's all smiles again, as he was last week. And our Gallagher Premiership Player of the Match is not Owen Farrell for that drop goal. It's actually going to be Ben Earl, who's been outstanding throughout, and he's on the winning side.
He is, but that's going to sting for Gloucester. I thought they were excellent in really large parts of the field, mainly defence, because they were put under huge amounts of pressure tonight. And just that fighting spirit, which was just exemplified by Ludlow all over the field. He's putting his body on the line, game after game, week after week. You can see how much it means to him and to these Gloucester guys. They've lost a lot of key players, but still they've got that Gloucester fighting spirit, which is so impressive to see.
What a finish. What a finish. Very much in keeping with the style of matches between these two sides. Owen Farrell has had the final say, as he has done on a couple of occasions. 2015 a late penalty, 2011 a late conversion, here a late drop goal. Full time at Kingsholm. Gloucester 16, Saracens 19. And they march on at the top of the table now. 52 points. With Sale, their closest rivals, on 38 ahead of their match this weekend. Just that single defeat in Brentford to London Irish.